Congolese security forces on Tuesday tried to slow the advance of Rwanda-backed M23 rebels who say they have captured Goma after entering eastern Congo's largest city. UN officials reported violence, looting, and bodies in the streets. The officials said hospitals are overwhelmed in Goma, a regional trade and humanitarian hub that is now a refuge for hundreds of thousands fleeing gunfire and shelling in the major escalation of one of Africa's longest conflicts. The M23 rebels are one of about 100 armed groups vying for a foothold in the conflict-battered North Kivu province, which includes Goma and is rich in minerals critical to much of the world's technology. Reports of rapes, looting. There were reports of gender-based violence and rape committed by fighters, looting of property, including a humanitarian warehouse, and humanitarian and health facilities being hit in the city, UN Humanitarian Affairs Office spokesman Jens Lerche said at a media briefing on Tuesday. The humanitarian situation in and around Goma remains extremely worrying, and this morning there were heavy small arms fire and mortar fire across the city and the presence of many dead bodies in the streets, said Lerche, adding that hospitals are struggling to manage the influx of wounded people. Many continued to flee across the border into Rwanda, braving heavy rains and sometimes being caught between shootouts by the Congolese soldiers and the rebels. What we want is this war to come to an end, said Christian Bahati, a Congolese teacher among hundreds now sheltering in the Rwandan town of Gisenyi. You can see the level of frustration. Congolese people are victims, but now they find themselves seeking refuge from the aggressor. Growing anger in the capital. Dozens of demonstrators looted and set fires to parts of at least 10 foreign embassy buildings far off in the capital, Kinshasa, including those of Rwanda, US, France, Belgium, and Kenya. The protesters demanded that the international community condemn Rwanda over its role in the conflict. We denounce the hypocrisy of the international community, said Timothy Shishimbi, one of the protesters. They must tell Rwanda to stop this adventure. The attacks were condemned by the respective countries as well as the Congolese government, which said it has reinforced the security at the embassies. Several countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, and France, have condemned Rwanda for the rebel advance. The African Union Peace and Security Council demanded the M23 and other rebel groups immediately and unconditionally withdraw and cease their attacks and permanently disband and lay down their arms. M23 rebels emboldened plan to set up administration in Goma. It was unclear how much of Goma is controlled by the M23 rebels, though analysts say they are more emboldened than in 2012 when they temporarily took over the city before being forced to pull out under international pressure. They resurfaced in late 2021 with increasing support from Rwanda, according to Congo's government and UN experts. Rwanda has denied such support, although UN experts estimate there are up to 4,000 Rwandan forces in Congo. Since morning, we have heard bomb explosions and crackling bullets, Sam Luowa, a resident of Goma, said of the fighting in the city. So far we cannot say who really controls the city. 17 peacekeepers and foreign soldiers have been killed in the fighting, according to UN and army officials. Manzi Ngarambe, a representative for the M23 diaspora, told the AP that the group is in control of Goma and plans to set up an administration in the city so people can continue living normal lives and displaced people can return home. Ngarambe said they would be willing to sit at the table with Congolese officials and denied that they were being supported by Rwanda. Rwandan Foreign Minister Olivier Nduhungirehe said that Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi will have to accept talks with M23 to end the situation once and for all. Rwanda's goal in Congo is to protect its borders against attacks, Army spokesperson Brig General Ronald Rwavenga told the AP, adding that appropriate measures would be all-encompassing, including the use of water, air, and land defense. Rwandan President Paul Kagame recently accused Congo of enlisting Hutu rebels and former militiamen that it blames for the 1994 genocide. Dire situation. Key roads surrounding Goma are blocked, and the city's airport can no longer be used for evacuation and humanitarian efforts. Power and water have reportedly been cut to many areas of the city, said David Monkley, head of operations in eastern Congo for the Christian aid group World Vision. Some analysts worry about the risk of a regional war if peace efforts led by Kenya fail. Past attempts at dialogue between Congolese and Rwandan leaders have failed, including in December when the meeting of the two leaders was cancelled. Congo might seek support from countries like South Africa, whose troops are among foreign militaries in Congo, while Rwanda might be motivated to continue backing the M23 rebels, said Murithi Mutiga, Program Director for Africa at the Crisis Group. The risk of a regional confrontation has never been higher, Mutiga said.